Hey, Scott Barhold here. Reading through some of the Facebook stuff, and I love what I'm seeing about people paying attention to numbers. And those of you that know me know I'm a numbers guy. I track everything. Ask Guy Burns; he'll tell you about it, right? It's just one of the things that I do. Numbers mean everything to me. But one of the things I caution any trainer about is getting too wrapped up in the day to day. Why? Because I know how frustrating that was when I was doing it. It felt like I was under a lot of pressure and I was driving myself to negative results, trying to push too hard. What I'd rather you do is take a look at your averages. In fact, when I'm out on the road, if you're taking a look at the screen here, when I'm out on the road, each day that I do the stuff that I do, right? This is my week this week. I'm my goal every week. Those of you that know me, the Orange Jello podcast, right? Those that know the story. Uh, when I was first starting out at this, I used to struggle, and if I could make $500 in sales a day, just one day in a week, I'd have orange Jello when I get home. Orange Jello is one of my favorite treats. It's crazy, but it is what it is. Uh, then it went from 500 a day to 1,000 a day, 1,000 a day to 1,500 to 2,000 a day. I was doing 2,000 in one day, but then I would have one great day and four stinkos, right? So that didn't drive my numbers well. So we started changing things, and we were like, well, if I could make $50 per head, $50 per person for the week, then it would be Jello. Then it went to 60 and 70, and right now it's sitting at $75 uh, per person for the week. If I make $75 for the week, I get my orange Jello. It's kind of a thing. And here's what happens. You can see this week here, if you're looking at the screen, on 514, I had 18 people in the room. Now, what you can't see, I just remember it because it was this week, is I had 13 already red starred training rewards members in the room, right? That was 13. And I had another three of them that had receipts that they had signed in. So 13 and 3, I had 16 out of 18 people. And if you take a look when they walked out of there at the end of the week, I had 18 because I had two that signed up, right? So we got that filled. That was the only thing I was able to do. Now, what you also don't know is that in that room, I had 7 CPAs that when I do my meet and greet in the morning, I was like, hey, look, what are you looking to get out of here today? They were like, oh, I'm just here for CPE credit. And throughout the day, they were up and down like whack-a-mole. They weren't in the room. They weren't paying attention. They weren't interested in learning the system. And even when I asked them, oh, so do you do sales and use tax in your accounting firm? Nope, we don't even do that. They were just there for CPEs. They're not my buyers in the room, and it showed at the end of the day. But if you take a look at my dollars per person for the day, it was $22.11 a head. You can't get frustrated a day like that. I made $51. That isn't going to pay the bills, and I know that. But then look as the day went on, right? The following day I had 20 people. I sold 1,060, still only $38 a head. I'm not making the numbers I need to make. The following day, 24. This was yesterday. 24 people in the room, 3,909. I had $162.88 in a day, but my total for the week is now $86.56 a head. Now it's an orange jello week, right? We're starting to get what we need or what I need. And I made $412 in commission. On today, I had 24 people again. I sold 32.27 for $134 a day. It only drives my commission up a little bit more. It's $99 a head. If I take a look, my average commission per for the day is 13% is what I'm looking at for my commissions. I keep track of all this, right? I've seen 86 people this week. Total sales is 8,500. Total commission 945 and 96 for a total per diem of 900, but my total pay is 1845 and 96 cents. That's when you add the two of them together, right? And my total dollars, my commission dollars per person right now is sitting at $11 a head. I do this in every period I go into. In fact, if I take a look at my that was my June payout. If I take a look at my May payout and I go into my dollars per person, this was one of the weeks I had just last month, and I keep track of it again, right? My dollars per person for the week, $109 a head. My total commission is 1,014, right? I averaged 12%. 12.4%. My commissions was 13.53 per person. I'm looking at my weekly dollars per person to drive that. to $75 ahead per week, not per day, because you're going to have averages. That's what we do. Fred Pryor looks at a 90-day rolling average. You should be looking at your rolling averages. Are they trending up? Are they trending down? Don't get caught up in a day-to-day. Day-to-day can be uh, too spotty. You could have a day with 5 people in the room and you sell $1,000 worth of stuff. That's $200 per head, and you still didn't make any money. But you're looking at the averages. You're looking at the averages. Now, here's a tool that I use, and I do highly recommend, and I will make it available for all of you. If you go to the Orange Jello podcast page, I'll put it out there on a post. But this is something I put out several years ago, so this is kind of a little rebroadcast. Start your year, or start it right now. How much money do you want to make for the year? And here's a little spreadsheet. How much do you want to make for the year? If you want to make $50,000 a year and you only want to be on the road for, 20 days a month, right? At $50,000 a year, 20 days a month, that's 240 days a year. You'll make $50,000. So let's jump that out to 75. 20 days a month, you're just going to need $21,000 in commissions, and per day that comes to $87.50. So it lets you know at 10%, 11%, what are you making per day? What do your sales have to be? Uh, Now, many of us are out for 220 days a month, 240 days a year. Christmas, you lose the last 2 weeks and stuff like that. So if you went to 15 for 180, or even if you went to 13, right? Over the last couple of years, I've been hitting very close to about 160 days a year. So my total per diem is 35,100. My commissions would need to be 39, and this is what my average commission has to be depending on what I'm selling. Now, those of us that are looking at the Prior Plus or are looking at the loyalty program and you're hitting 20% or 21% or 23%, this is all you have to sell. All right, $173,000 for the year. For somebody that's only doing 10%, the tier 4 stuff, which I sell a lot of, for me to make that number, I have to sell almost $400,000 for the year. So I have to look to make sure that my package is balanced between 10% because it jumps the dollars per person up quickly, and the 23%, I got to sell some packs in the week so that I can sit somewhere in the $15 range, and then I only have to do $266,000, which I've been able to do in the last couple of years. And my average daily sales has to be somewhere in the neighborhood of $1,700 a day. And last year I think I was at $1,694. So I was right in that ballpark. So it's just a goal. If you like this year, I'm at a point. We've got some stuff going on with my family, and I can't be out 15 days a week, right? I've got some family issues going on at home. So the $75,000, if I still wanted to make that at the tier 4, I got to do $4,000 a day, which I'm not doing. But I am hitting quite a few $3,000 days. So it means that I have to sell some tier 4, some tier 3, some tier 2, some tier 1, and I'd still have to do $369,000 in sales. Well, at 10 days, I don't know that I'm going to make that at $3,000 a day, but I can do 2,500. So I've got to try to balance my pack that I'll hit about 1,600. Again, this is a page that I can put out for you. Also, if you are interested in the dollars per person spreadsheet, I can do that for you as well, because this is a powerful tool. Now, I do know some trainers that have used this. They look at it at a monthly thing, so they're setting their goals. But what I would caution you about again is in the group, get away from looking at your daily numbers. Look at your weekly numbers. It can make such a big difference for you. I didn't start again at $75 a head. Today I set goals. When I wake up in the morning, I say, yep, today I'm going to hit $100 a head, and I have a great script that many years ago Jamie Swindell helped me put together. Now it's been tweaked and twerked till it's been, maybe not twerked, it's been tweaked all the way up till it is what it is. It's pretty solid now, and I have a SIN offer that people go nuts for. SIN just means has to be superior, has to be irresistible, and it has to be a no-brainer. What we're putting together, what I offer them, is very powerful. The powerful language drives them and drives my numbers consistently towards my goal. And there are days that still fall short. I shared with you just my day this week at $22.11 per person and $35 per person. All that can happen. The importance for you is to make sure that you are driving to your averages. Know what you need to make and work it on a weekly and a monthly basis. Uh, Today, my monthly basis is nothing like what it was 3 years ago. My sales per month has tripled over the last 2 years, 3 years since I started using this. Looking at your dollars per person for a week instead of a day. Days are going to fluctuate. We have averages. That's why we have them. Look at what you are overall. What is your conversion? What's the percentage that you're converting per day? What is your dollars per person per day, but what is your dollars per person per week? What is your conversion per week? What percentage of the people are turning into buyers? I'm hoping this helps. Again, I'll put a link in here for you folks on the Facebook, or I'll put it out on the Orange Jello. If you go to orangejello.us, there'll be a page out there. Let's put it out, orangejello.us/spreadsheets. That'll be the web link. I'll post it out here once I get it uploaded for you so that you guys can get those. Other than that, folks, hope you're having a great night. Bye-bye.